Hey, what's up everyone? I'm doing a live stream right now. This is just a test. I seen the reports that YouTube is down worldwide. I noticed that YouTube stopped working a little while ago for me at about, I guess about 9 o'clock. No, actually it was about, I'd say about 8 o'clock. Sorry. But yeah, I'm just doing a test stream right now to see if anyone out there is getting my broadcast. If anyone out there is receiving this, is seeing this live stream right now. I don't. It probably won't even upload since YouTube is down in so many places. But okay, I see one person is live, so I just wanted to see if this is kind of just a test, probably just a few minutes, a couple of minutes, just to see if anyone's getting this live broadcast right now. Because I already reported it on Twitter, and then I seen a bunch of other people are reporting it. Okay, so from Kentucky, you're getting your Steve Hughes is getting the broadcast from Kentucky. So I'm in Tennessee, and the internet is YouTube is down right now, completely just down on all devices everywhere. Yeah, I tried to put a thumbnail, a background. I tried to put a thumbnail in the as the background, but it did not work. It's not actually showing anything on the screen, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how this is working since YouTube is down here right now. Oh, no more. Okay, it's not here. YouTube is not working. It's sporadic right now. It's going up and down, in and out. The internet is going kind of like going up. It's going up the connection, and then the connection goes down. I've noticed with some people. With me, I've had no connection all night long, but for some people, the connection's coming in, and then it goes out. So I don't know. I was going to do some ME videos, but this is just a test, kind of a test to see how many people. So one person was able to get this, and then it went out for them apparently. I don't know if you can still hear me or not, but it feels kind of like we're doing a. It feels kind of like I'm doing a broadcast where it feels like, can anyone out there hear me? Like on a walkie-talkie or something, and you're trying to connect to this world, and you're trying to say it's like a post YouTube post-apocalyptic situation where YouTube goes down. But I don't know if it's some sort of a hacking thing or a hacking issue or what, really. I mean, anything's possible. They could be taking it down or messing with it. Because on a worldwide scale, excuse me, that's a bigger deal on a worldwide scale. See, I was going to use this as my thumbnail. The picture of the outages reported. The outages reported worldwide. So, which actually is in the majority of places in the United States, and multiple places worldwide. So they said it's unusual for YouTube to be out on such a massive scale. Hey, Seek Your Truth. Hello. You can see me, or hear me anyway, so that's good. Another person reported they can actually get the live stream, so this feels like one of those, like I stated a moment ago, if you weren't here for that, this feels like one of those post-apocalyptic things in the movies and shows. Can you hear me out there? Can you hear me? Can someone hear me? So, that's what it feels like there, like we're trying to report from, it keeps going in and out on the live stream. I don't even know how I'm doing the live stream when I've tried uploading and pulling in videos, and they go out. So they just won't show up. It just says network ID error. Is that what you all are getting? Are you getting a network ID error on your screen? I was going to have the the report of the outages as the background, but it didn't want to do that. It wouldn't let me do a background. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick live stream letting everyone know that YouTube has been down since about 8 p.m. tonight. Everyone's been reporting it on Twitter. So everyone has been reporting this all over Twitter. So Okay, you read a report that it might have been Pakistan trying to censor content, trying to censor YouTube and spread it worldwide. Look up ABC News Tech News. Okay, I'll look that up. I'll do that. Um, and that's a possibility. That is a possibility. Let me look that up here in a moment. Yeah, there's no picture. I tried to make a background, but it wouldn't do it. It was just blank. It wouldn't do a background. JP Powell, you just asked for. There's no picture. No, there's nothing. I just wanted to do a test run, and I was gonna put a background, but it wouldn't let me do a background. So I don't know. My devices are not like. I mean, I was using this. So yeah, you're here. That's good. So some people are getting a connection anyway, so that's good. I don't really know how I'm streaming right now since YouTube is out in our area, but I mean, I am streaming, so hold on one moment. Can you hear me? Okay, I had to shut it off for a moment. Um, this is this was just a test anyway. Right now, I'm just doing a test to see if you all can hear me. I was wondering how many people it was down for because I heard that from east to the west coast of the United States, it still won't let me put a background. I don't know why, but excuse me, that from the east to the west coast, it was down in several places. Yesterday, AT&T had an outage in Texas, and they blamed it on an electrical issue. Several places in Texas had an internet outage. I think Comcast went out for the area, and AT&T went out for the area, and they blamed it on some sort of a fire or an electrical fire. There's been several internet disruptions worldwide, internet interruptions, and people have been reporting various things. So Yeah, there are outage maps. Okay, I was looking on the outage maps, and that's what I was looking at earlier. I was going to make as the background. And the first thing I did was look up is YouTube down, because I was doing this, I was doing a stream of this relaxational video, and all of a sudden, you know, for anxiety and everything, and all of a sudden it went down, and then I tried it on the TV, the Fire Stick, it was down, and all the devices were down. Then I looked it up and I said, is YouTube down? And it was reported a few minutes ago that YouTube is down worldwide, so I'm not sure exactly how I'm live streaming right now then, if YouTube is down, but please don't tell me I'm going to get the hiccups during a live stream, but yeah. I did a couple of other videos, and I uploaded them early this morning, and there's a couple of evidence videos. They were residue, as many MEers call it, many Mandela affected people call it, or Mandected as the term has been coined. But I did a couple of videos regarding the Tom Cruise risky business scene, and from the Goldbergs. I didn't know that Brian McFarlane, at the time I didn't know Brian McFarlane had already done that video, which is weird. I had never seen his video on that, but I let him know about that as well. I also gave a link to another one of my videos that where the Fairly Odd Parents referenced risky business, and he's wearing the sunglasses. Timmy Turner was wearing the sunglasses. I did that a long time ago, several months back, but I don't know. Actually, I don't know if it was a long time ago, but anyway, can you all still hear me right now? Can you hear me? I don't know if I'm... It's, I think it went down one more person on the stream, but feels like one of those things, can you hear me out there? Yes, okay. Okay, look up the Pakistan Did It article. Okay. I looked that up. I just unplugged the phone battery and put the battery in my phone, so I just did that. Whoa. Phone's going crazy. But I've got the phone on right now. I'm going to look it up. It's frozen, but yeah. Took it a while to catch up on my time. But yeah, it went out about 8 o'clock tonight. Oh, I see. I got a notification from the YouTuber Earthly Patriot. Earthly Patriot is doing a YouTube down test right now. She's doing a test to see if YouTube is down as well. Okay, I'll search Pakistan causes YouTube outage. Well, come on, phone. The internet's messing up right now. So is the phone. Dang. Hold on. Okay, there it is. It actually pops up when you type in Pakistan C. It actually pops up Pakistan causes YouTube outage. So others are searching that right now. I know it was all over Twitter when it went out. I reported it and asked how many people, and I got a bunch of reports immediately. Okay, it went down for millions. Let's see. That's a bunch of notifications that I'm getting that I missed from the phone when I had it off. I don't see anything about Pakistan, but I can't find the Pakistan article. I searched the words that you told me to search, and I can't find it. It says the website remained inaccessible for over half an hour, but it's been down for me all this time. So, I don't know. It's been down for me for a pretty good while now. Several hours, anyway, at least. Okay, YouTube just came back for me. YouTube just came back. So did it just now? Okay, it just now came back for me. YouTube is back. So this was a test stream to see if YouTube was back, or to see how many people were actually getting access to YouTube. So that was other notifications. But anyway, YouTube is back now. So, but my device is messing up. Okay. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get the link. I've got it open. I've got this video open. I can't get the link. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to look for the link and I can't get it. Okay, Bubbles Bubbles. It just came back for you too, so that's good. You as well. You got it back as well. I couldn't get the link. It wouldn't work for me. Okay, I see Pakistan caused YouTube outage 2008, and there's one from 2017. Is that what you were talking about? The one from 2008 and 2017? No, it's not letting me copy and paste anything or do anything right now. I don't know why. It's not letting me do anything, but okay, I see it on Reddit. I just found it on Reddit as of 4 hours ago. Pakistan causes YouTube outage for 2/3 of this world. Okay, I just got it, so I just found it. Was it on Reddit? This person said they're not truly sure if this article was truly accurate, but they found, and now it seems to have been removed from the internet, the article, but the outage is real, but the article is from 10 years or so ago. Okay, this person stated, okay, I'm out again. Okay, it's back. It went out again for a few seconds. The live stream went out. I did find an article from ABC just now from years ago. If that's what you were you were talking about. This person, Never Dead Ted 22, I think that's his name, I guess, says the outage article was from 10 years or so ago and was reposted. I don't know about that. I did just see that on several hours on Sunday, abcnews.go.com, on abcnews.com, several hours on Sunday, which is not letting me access the servers. It's not letting me access the website for ABC News. No, ABC News isn't working for me. Yeah, it came up as the first option, but I see Deadline.com reporting it. CNET, let's see, Pakistan reported for 2000. Let's see. I don't see ABC News reporting on it recently. And ABC News website's down for me. It's not working. It's very slow at reporting. I mean, at connecting with the servers. I'm going to do a search. Yeah, it just went out. My internet, my YouTube just went out again. I was doing I was doing an internet outage map search. They they blamed lightning on the search for most of Dallas and Fort Worth, Texas, internet outage. While a majority part of Texas, they were out for 12 hours. Some AT&T internet and cable is even still out at this point, but they had in Georgia and Texas they had, but they blamed a lightning strike for that on Monday. I don't know. All these reports coming in worldwide, it seems a little bit. I don't know. Something's definitely going on. That's for sure. Can you hear me again? It keeps going out completely, and I have to reconnect it. I don't know. What it keeps trying to go out on me. I probably ought to end the stream before YouTube goes out again because it's trying to mess up on me once more. I was trying to check the news and it's messing up. Okay, there's been widespread cell tower and internet outages in various places, so something's definitely going on. Let's see, this was from. Well, it went out again. Crap. Dang, it went out. Hold on. Well. Well, basically, internet customers, internet and YouTube users are not having a good day, that's for sure. So I tried to access the news on that, but I could not get it to work. But I did see that a large portion of, like, they had several cell tower and internet outages today. Well, from a few days ago even. So I'll be doing another stream very soon. So hopefully I'll be doing another stream very soon, but I did a couple of videos already, and I wanted to do some live streams about them, where I was talking about various MEs that happened for me personally, where the town was different, the place had closed and then reopened. I mean, the place was down. The Krog now closed at midnight. The Kroger now closed at midnight when I remembered it being open all night long, but now they close at midnight as of the first of this year, even though we'd been there many times after midnight. And my Google timeline shows different times that I've been there than what I remember. So that is a personal ME, as well as the Kmart going out of business last year, and around December of last year, around Christmas time in 2017, it went out, and then suddenly now they were back in business and never went out. The sign looks different, and I'm going to have to check out the inside of the building and see if it looks different. So that's personal MEs, but that's not what this video was about. This video was just about a test to see if YouTube is up and running for some of you, and how many of you it's up and running for. I still apparently have 5 people who are live streaming right now with me, so I thank you very much. Hello to you as well, Old Earther 2000. Love the name. That's a cool name there, Old Earther 2000. But yeah, all of you have some very interesting names. It's interesting to see all of your YouTube names. But so any recent Mandela effects for you all? Any recent MEs or shifts that have taken place? Those store shifts and that what happened to that town is that's a personal shift for me that's happened very recently. I just uploaded 2 videos about it. So that's what this test stream was about, to see how many of you have access to YouTube right now. That's what this video was about. I'll do an ME video very soon. Very, very soon. I'm actually still learning right now how to, I'm trying to figure out how to type on here if you can, but it's not wanting to work for me. I mean, so it's also some issues here and there that are taking place. There are some issues that are still taking place. The screen actually went off a moment ago, so the screen just completely went off. Hello, Bubbles. I can see you now. Yeah, it does make you feel out of place. It makes you feel a bit out of place and crazy when you deal with things like that, going back and forth. I had to look back at the comments. Hello there. It went out. Okay, yeah, it went out. The sound went out again, I guess. The stream went out a moment ago, just a few moments ago. So it is 10:05 p.m. here right now. Maybe I'll go ahead and just watch the local news and see if they said anything about the YouTube outage. I know News Channel 5 did a moment ago. They put it on their news article. So very soon I'll be doing an ME live stream. So I plan on doing that very, very soon, where I talk in recent times. Well, not just recent times, but the MEs that have taken place for me personally. 11:05 where you live. 11:05. So you're 2 hours ahead of our time. Maybe I'll watch the news like I stated and see what they have to say. I'll give a quick look at it. Trying to get the... Let's see here. I want to see if the news is stating anything about the YouTube outage. I'm going to go in there and check it out. No, they're still talking about the extensive damage and the flooding from the hurricane that happened. Little hole next to ears. Oh, really? On snakes? Are we talking about snakes right now? Or
6. You can vote early.
Sorry, I was trying to see if the news was talking about...
Franklin police say that...
I'll just keep it muted. I was watching live, right now I'm watching Antenna TV. I'm watching the Antenna TV. The over-the-air Antenna TV. People having weird things hanging off the backside of their tongue like tentacles. Well, it was the local news. They're not as bad. They don't seem as bad. There is a lot of mind control. I agree completely. There is a whole lot of mind control, and it makes me sick. I mean, I am just completely tired of all of the mainstream media, the way they do. No matter how positive something is, they try to make it negative. They try to consistently just constantly rev just the president. Oh, he's this, that, and the other. I mean, do they remember the Islamic State crap that was happening? All of that mess that was happening and spreading all across this world, and those attacks? And they don't even report on that being down. They don't even report on that. They just report about the negativities. I mean, there are so many positive things, and then all they can do is focus on the negative and the hate, or try to drum up something from long ago to create more controversy. And anyway, you know that's what you were just mentioning about the news being mind control. I agree. Mind control. I mean, mind control. It does happen a lot. They do that, Old Earther. You are correct. So, but I was trying to watch the news on Channel 5 just to see. I'll have to look up the people having gills thing. I know we have these ridges, they say, on the side of the neck that are that's interesting, huh? But I know some people, they state that we have these things on the side of our neck that are like gills, but they state that's from inside the womb or something. You thought it was a piercing, now you know different. Well, I'll look that up about people having gills. But I completely get what you're stating. I completely understand about the mind control media. Can you still hear me? Can you all still hear me? I wanted to make sure you could all still hear me clearly. Okay, good. Okay. But yeah, I agree completely about the mind control of media and the news and what they do. So I understand what you're stating. And I mean, have you noticed though? I agree completely. They won't report on anything that tries to bring people together. The mainstream media tries to consistently make a joke, not only out of the current administration, but anyone trying to bring togetherness and positivity. They do try to do that. And I'm not getting all political here because whichever side of the fence you are on regarding that, whichever side of the whichever it used to be, whatever. It was like whatever political point of view you had, okay, you voted differently, you feel differently, whatever. So be it, that's fine. And we move on with our lives. But I mean, and that's the thing. Some people remember him dying differently. Nelson Mandela dying differently. But I understand many of you don't want to get into the politics part, and I get that completely. I understand. Hebrews chapter 1 verse 2. Let me look that up on my phone. Hebrews chapter 1 verse 2. Let me look it up and see. He died in jail for you. Well, see, many people out there, they'll state, see, for me, I remember being taught all this time that he died. I know they had a thing where President Bush said, Mandela's dead, or something, Mandela's dead. And that was a video that went viral a while back regarding the Mandela effect. Well, the thing is, Bush said that. He was like, he was doing a speech, and he said, Mandela's dead. I was trying to do his accent, do Bush's voice, but, see, I was born in 1994, so I obviously don't remember all of that. But for me, I was always taught that he died. I was always taught that he was alive, and I remembered when he died. And then suddenly I hear a bunch of people stating that he was dying for the second time. You do remember George Bush stating that he was dead. I don't really know what he was talking about at that time. You didn't know what he was talking about. See, yeah, that's a lot of people probably didn't really get what he was talking about at that time. We were like, I was in, let's see, 2001, I was in first grade, so uh, at that time I would have not paid as much attention to that as far as the politics. But I remember the YouTube video, Shirley Temple, you remember her dying of a childhood disease. See, that I don't remember. But personally, let's see. No more red writing in the Bible? Really? Just black and white every time Jesus spoke, it was in red writing. Yes. I'll have to look in my Bible. Some of our Bibles, the King James, and I've got one from school that they made us use back when I was in school, that was when I was in private school before I went to public school. I used this Bible that they asked us to use, and it had red writing in it, so Are you talking about the King James Version? Are you talking about the King James Version? Because I remember there was this Larry the Cable Guy where Larry the Cable Guy also stated that's just what pops into my head. He said, "Them's the red letters. Those are the red letters. Do you know they're important because they're the ones that Jesus said. They're the ones that Jesus stated." I was doing my Larry the Cable Guy get her done accent. I enjoy doing voices and accents. I'm not going to go into that for this video as much again, but hey, there's Teresa Lynch. How are you doing? Yeah, it did. It was like, uh-oh, what are they going to do? When I seen that YouTube went out, it was like, what are they going to do? And that's interesting, this Shirley Temple. So you're looking at the King James Version. Yeah, I remember in the King James Version it was always red. Definitely red letters for me as well. So you're reading the King James Version, Bubbles, and they're still red for you? I'm still looking up right now. Hold on, let me get back to the Hebrews 1:2. Back to the Hebrews 1:2. Sorry it took so long here. I had it on my phone, but I got distracted by all of the other comments. Let me go back. Hebrews 1:2. Let's see. Where's the comment you stated? What was it about Hebrews 1:2? That's crazy. It looks like they took that comment down. Okay, Hebrews 1:2 stating worlds. Okay, so I think Bubbles stated that, right? You were asking me about Hebrews 1:2? Hebrews 1 verse 2? Okay, I'm looking at the King James Version. Let me look at different versions here. Okay, King James Bible version. Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. Huh, that's interesting. I do remember world. I feel strongly that I remember world. I can't say 100%, but world sounds more normal when speaking in biblical terms, when you're speaking about from the Bible. It does. It states worlds. I see that. Let me look in our Bibles. I've got a version from school. I actually have different Bibles. I had one from school that they made us use, and then there was another one. Let me go grab it. Let me get this one. This was the New International Version. That's what they made us use when I was in elementary school. That's what they had us use at the time, I think. So let me take a look at that one. Hebrews 1:2. Let's see. Let me get that one out. Let me get that one out and look. Let's see. I'm still with you all. I'm just, well, in this Bible, it starts at page 666. Uh-oh. Starts at page 666 in this Bible. Anyway, that's the New International Version. All right, Hebrews 1:6. I'm looking at this one right now. Okay, in the New International Version, let's see. It says, and again, when God brings his firstborn into the world, he says, wait a minute, is it 1:6? Did you say 1:6? Is that what you were referring to? Verse 1:6. It went out again. My stream went out again. Yeah, that would imply like the multiverse, more than one world situation. Let's see. I'm looking right now. 1:2. All right, that's what I was looking at, but it says, Hebrews 1:2. Let's see. I'm trying to. There we go. But in the last, I found it. Sorry, it was. But in the last days he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed heir of all things, and through whom he made the universe. Well, that's interesting that the word universe is Bible. This is in the if you look in the New International Version, the New International Version says the universe rather than the worlds or world. Now, I have another one in the hallway. Let me go get that one. Another one in the cabinet. There's several Bibles that we have from throughout the years. I'm going to look at the other ones as well, the older ones. Hold on for a moment. Let me mute it and go get it. You were blown away when you read it. Yeah, I understand. Let's see if I can find it in. Hold on. Hold on a moment. Just wait one moment. Let's see. I'm looking in this Bible from school that I had. This other Bible from school that they. Let's see. Copyright 1985. This is a 1985 Bible, but they gave it out when I was in school. When I was in high school, they actually gave these out, handed these out. And this was actually like in 2012 they handed these out. I'm looking in the this is the Gideon's International version. There's no sound for some people apparently. Okay, you hear me now. That's good. I'm just looking up the verse right now in this Bible. There was a joke made by, while I'm looking this up, there was a joke made by someone that they stated that, do you know how do you know which verse in the Bible says the man's supposed to make the coffee? It says he brews. So he brews the coffee. I know that's kind of, it was just this corny joke that someone stated. It was kind of a funny joke though. It was on TV one time. Let's see, Hebrews. Well, this Bible's supposed to have Hebrews in it. There it is. But on this one, it's in page 400. This is a smaller Bible. Maybe I'll do a video with, yep, this Bible I've had since school. and it was printed in 1985, says, God, who at various times and in various ways spoke in time past to the fathers, time past to the fathers by the prophets, has in these last days spoken to us by his Son, whom he has appointed heir of all things, through whom also he made the worlds, implying more than one world with an S. So yeah, it does state that in the, I'll save that page. I'll do a video on it. I'll sometime asking if everyone on my channel remembers it that way, or do they remember world? It's almost like implying a multiverse thing, even though in the New International Version it says universe. So it says universe in that one. So yeah. This says, I was looking for it, but this is the Gideon's International Version. That was a school Bible they gave out. There was another one I used in elementary school. This is the, let's see, Hallman Bible Publishers, the King James Version. Okay, it is a dark black Bible, a leather Bible with golden outlines. Still smells like it did when I was in school. Has that nice, has that smell from when I was in school. I have certain marked verses. Alright, so let's look up Hebrews 1:2 there. I still have the highlighted verses. It's got let's see, love, Mama and Daddy. Okay, it's got, alright, large print, let's see here. Still got from my parents on there from when I was in elementary school. Multi-matrix universe. Yep, that's the way it seems in this world. 2000. This Bible was published in the year 2000, 18 years ago. And the map's from 1999 in this one. So this is an 18-year-old Bible I've had for, well, 18 years. Let's see. Hebrews. Let's see which page Hebrews is on in this one. 1449. All right. So I'm at Hebrews right now, and I'm going to see what it says in this version, which is another version of the King James Version, which it's another Bible I've used for many years. Okay, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds, with an S. The luminescent moon, let's see, simulated sun, luminescent moon. Those are some interesting theories out there. Many people have been pointing those out. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out this whole thing, this entire thing. So, I mean, I'm going to do a video sometime, I think. I think I'll do one now, sometime or other, regarding this particular Hebrews 1:2 Bible verse, and I'll ask many people how they remember it. See, on the cover, it actually shows it in red. Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So that's what it says on the cover of this box that this Bible was in. It was a large print, compact Bible. So this Bible is 18 years old. The others that I have are from from my grandparents and parents from the 50s and 60s. One of them is in here somewhere, probably in the cabinet. That's really, really old. It's an old reference Bible. It's a really old Bible, and I would love to see whether it has wineskins in it, but I have to get it out. The moon does look different. I've noticed it has this luminescent glow. A lot of things, not only does the moon look different, but the phases are different, the moon phases are different. I've noticed that. Thank you for pointing that out. I've wanted to mention that for a long time. The moon has this glow to it, like a luminous glow, kind of like a ghostly type glow. Is that what you're talking about? It kind of looks like this outline of or kind of like a gaseous, ghostly glow around it. But yeah, thank you for pointing out that Bible verse. I'm putting it back in the cabinet right now, this one, in this shelf in the hall. But yeah, are you talking about the moon having an appearance that looks kind of like a ghostly outline around it? Yes, that's okay. That's what I wondered. That's what it looks like, and I've noticed that myself. The phases are completely off too. Rebecca Gesk, welcome to the live stream. Yes, the moon has been very strange lately. That's why I made several videos about that, about it being very off. I mean, the phases are off, everything. They're all over the sky. They never seem to be where I remember them being. That's it. That's it. It's just everything. Everything is completely just off. Just so many different things just off. And that's it. I mean, that's the way it is. It just everything's complete. But I have several. I mean, I have several Bibles that I had to get it back on live now. Yeah, yeah, they are. Everything is off. Everything's off. I mean, I'll take a look outside and see. This thing is going crazy right now. It's literally going crazy. But yeah, I mean, everything is slightly off. But yeah, I checked several versions of the Bible, probably 4 or 5 versions, and it either says universe or worlds with an S. I've always stated worlds. I've just always felt like implying that because I felt like that we weren't really, that it wasn't really this world, or I would state this world or something like that because I always felt like I wanted to mention more than one world. So yeah. Anyway, let me know. Let me know how many of you YouTube went down for. That's what the original quote was. I mean, quote, not quote. That was what the original point for this video was. But I remember so many verses, like the wineskins verse. They say in reference books, it still remains the same in the reference books. But yet, if you look in the King James Version of the Bible, it says bottles. And there was one YouTuber, I think he was Photo Helix, who stated that that wineskins, it's still in the reference books, but he said it should not be bottles because bottles weren't invented till, and even canteens, not till years after the King James Version of the Bible was written. So, and there are words in there like stuff. Someone stated, grab your stuff. Another thing is, let me look back at this really quickly at this cover, this box that the Bible is in. Yeah, I do miss the way the old Earth looked. down for you in Oregon about an hour and a half. You listen to Photo Helix, okay, great channel. Yeah, he did have really good, interesting information. I haven't seen a video from him in a while, but in this Bible it says saith with an I. That's another thing that, do you remember the word saith being, yeah, the old yellow sun? I've seen it 3 times this year. The sun actually turned yellow. It was yellow 3 times, and it wasn't just at sunset, it was hours before sunset, but and I seen a lot of chemtrails a while back that I meant to post as well, but yeah, I'll do a video about several Bible verses, including Hebrews 1:2. Maybe I'll do a live stream of the Bible verses. And but do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember the verse? Let's see, John 14:6. It says, Jesus saith unto him, this is the King James Version, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Now, I remember that 100%. But do you remember the word saith having an E or an I? Do you remember S-A-E-T-H or S-A-I-T-H? Like saith or saith? Because for me, a while back, it kind of seemed to flip-flop. It didn't seem right. Now, I'm not stating, with the Bible, I don't want to state 100% something and be wrong. Because, okay, you remember an I? Okay, so that's my question. Because I remember asketh, and like, if you say asketh, it was ETH. But saith is ITH. So I guess if you look it up, you can't find anything. You can't find it with ETH. Okay, I just got a redirect notice. I don't know what happened. I was trying to read Bible verses. It says the previous page is sending you to Bible Gateway. It says if you do not want to visit the page, you can return to the previous page. Which page? I was on Bible Gateway. Why are they giving me an error? I keep getting a redirect notice when I'm trying to go to Bible Gateway. It keeps trying to take me off of BibleGateway.com. No, I don't want a redirect notice. Redirect notice. There it goes, BibleGateway.com. I don't know why it was doing that. It was redirecting me. Okay, ETH for you, ETH for you, for old earthers. So we've got a split in the live stream, in the live chat. There's a split between ETH and ITH. But that is interesting, the Hebrews 1:2, world and worlds. I've got to save that in my inkpad notepad so I can do a video about it. Yeah, Google doesn't like the Bible. That is true. That is very true. They screw with everything that you're trying to look up. They mess with things. They mess with everything you're trying to search regarding that. Did you hear about how, this is awful, but China, the Chinese president was banning not only Bibles, but he was banning, he banned any crosses on the top of the church. They were being taken down. The churches, they were being burned and removed, and you had to replace all crosses or anything to do with Jesus Christ with or Jesus, anything to do with Jesus, like I was stating, anything to do with Jesus Christ had to be replaced with the Chinese flag and an image of the Chinese president. I mean, that is, now that sounds very prophetic. That does sound like what the final Antichrist does, which I don't see him to be the final Antichrist, but I'm just stating that sounds like what the world leadership does. Kind of paving a way, you know what I mean? kind of paving a way for what could be coming. Um, and this kind of makes me wonder, it's like, even if the whole multiverse thing, is this going to take place in every world if there's a multiverse situation? Maybe it's going to all merge into one and made whole again or something. But I don't know. I don't want to imply any sort of thing and get it wrong. I don't want to be a false prophet. That's not what I want to be. But yeah, I just report the news and different various verses that I'm sure of, like you all. So yeah, do you remember? Did you hear that happening in April? They burned the crosses, and that's that is awful. They burned the crosses on top of the churches, and they threatened them. They threatened to burn down the churches if they didn't replace their crosses and Jesus Christ with the image of their president, Xi, and kind of reminds me of the situation where they replace the everyone when that system comes, is like you just mentioned, like Old Earther 2000 just mentioned, the system of the beast. Um, and Rebecca Gesk, yes, I completely agree. Um, it reminds you of when you can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast, without that, and also the situation in India taking place where they all are required to be in this biometrics system. They're being required to be in it, or they told them the 1 I see something billion Hindus must be in that biometric system and that new Real ID system that they created for India, or you cannot have any of the government benefits. Oh, you're welcome. You are very welcome. Thank you as well for sharing it with me. Thank you very much. I was looking in various Bibles and online. Social credit score is coming here too, really. Um, I know, and definitely, I'm very glad to have looked up that Bible verse. We have various Bibles that, mainly the King James. I've always been told, we've always been taught that the King James version is the most accurate. That's the one people will, I guess, they swear by the King James version. They rely upon the King James version. I'll say that they rely upon the King James version of the Bible, and that's the one we've always found to, be that was considered, and that's the one that seems to be different the most commonly, even though they all seem to be now changing up a bit. But back to the topic of what was going on in India, they were created, and here in America, it was stated under the Bush administration, and it was reinstated by the Obama administration, that which so much went wrong during that previous administration. I can't even begin. I can type some of it out in the comment section if any of you ask me, but they were creating things that were uh, very detrimental to people's rights, people's freedom, and they were taking it away during the previous administration. And it would have continued. I actually have not watched Black Mirror yet. There are several other shows and things that I've seen and watched on there, but I have not watched Black Mirror. I'll have to check it out. People have recommended it, and they were all over the internet. They talked about it, and someone else recommended it on my YouTube channel, but I haven't actually watched Black Mirror yet. They do have a lot of predictive programming now, and they've had it for many years. Did you see where the Looney Tunes skit? There's so much to talk about, but did you see the Looney Tunes skit from It Scared the Heck Out of You, really? Really? Well, I'll have to see what they have on there. They do have a lot of predictive programming now. But have you seen the Looney Tunes thing where they said, the towers, they're falling, and he said, watch out for that taxi. There's so much traffic congestion. He's like, beep, beep, honk, honk. Look out for that taxi. And he said, look up there. The towers, they're falling. And he falls down. He's like, okay, you nutty dog. And, I mean, yeah, okay. If you haven't seen that, just look up. Let me look it up really quickly, and I'll give you the title of the video. But it's reminds me of predictive programming. It was Porky Pig And I meant to do that Porky Pig impression, and I went, that's all, folks, in my previous video. I did mean to do that. I meant to do that, but I didn't do that in my previous video. But let me look it up for you. Porky Pig. Let's see here. Jesus will help you deal with the ME. No one in your family is affected but you. That is difficult when no one will be affected. My parents understand this to an extent. They get what's going on. I can talk to them about it. They get that things are happening. And we all believe in Jesus Christ. And it's something that you would think more people would realize. Thank you. Thank you very much, Rebecca Gask, for stating that my impression was good. I did a bunch of voice impressions. I'll do that very soon again, but I don't want to overdo it. Overdo the voice impressions on a stream and make it all about that. I mean, I will do that sometime. Would you all be interested in me doing a voice impression skit, like an entire live stream of that? I'll try that sometime. I did it if you check out my last live stream, I did a bunch of voice impressions about 1 hour into it. About 1 hour into my last live stream. So let's see. Porky Pig. 9/11. It was in a 1948 cartoon. Okay. Now, see, I wanted to do. I'm not comfortable right now with showing my face, and that's why I kept the screen dark. I mean, maybe someday. I mean, I don't want. There are people in my family, extended family. They don't believe in the ME. They would think you're crazy. So I don't even let them know about this channel. And with Jesus Christ in your heart, you're never alone. That's true. That is true. And the Holy Spirit. I mean, we know that. We still go through hardships in this world and through these things. We all have a crisis in faith and have ups and downs. I've had my issues. I've had my ups and downs in faith for sure. We all do, and we all fall short. That's for sure. Sin falls short. We have our ups and downs in faith. That's for certain. But Jesus is always the forgiver and redeemer. I have my son. He's seen some of the changes, but he's young and it upset him, so I try not to talk about it unless he brings it up. I do homeschool now because he couldn't deal with the kids at public school. I understand that completely. Old Earther 2000, thanks to you all, and God bless you as well. God bless you as well. We lost his dad in 2013 to skin cancer. I'm sorry to hear that. So we just have each other. And Rebecca, yes, God bless all of you. Yes, God bless all of you. Yes, prayers and love go out to all of you. And I'm sorry to hear for your loss. I'm very sorry to hear about the loss of your family member. But look up, all of you, if you have another device right now on you, like a phone or a tablet, if you're not streaming on one, you can check the other. Search 9/11 prediction in 1948 cartoon. All you have to do is search Porky Pig 9/11. I don't feel comfortable showing my face right now on video. That's why I don't show it. It's just a dark screen. I hope you all don't mind that. I mean, I don't want people to besides my parents, they know I do these videos, but I don't want them to be for privacy purposes. I just want to, right now, I don't feel comfortable showing my face. Other family members, they don't even know that I have this channel, so. But I'm going to, let's see if I can show you this. Let's see if you can see this. Let's see if I can do it without any copyright issues. Yes, it's 1948. 1948. 9/11 prediction in 1948 cartoon. I'll try to show it right now. Let's see if you can see this. Can you see this? Let's see. Let's see if it'll play. And that gives you chills right there when you see that'll give you chills. Seeing that prediction in 1948. And I'll post a link below my live stream for it later. Did you all see that clearly? Well, it's going on another. Hold on.
I have some exciting news. You finally got a girlfriend.
Sorry, it went on to another. Okay, it went on to another YouTube video playing right afterwards of the Looney Tunes show. But that was a prediction. That was. Yeah, they do. They actually have a lot of colored cartoons from 1948. They were aired in black and white, but they claim they've upconverted them and really heightened the quality. Amazing, in 1925, my granny was born in 1925 on my mama's side, and a lot of things came out then. And yeah, I actually have the DVD of that episode. I found it one time, and sure enough, it says that the towers, they're falling, and it gives you chills. Like seeing this DVD you've had for years, and it's stating that it's crazy. I mean, talk about predictive programming, but we see a lot of it. We see a whole lot of that now. People talk about the Illuminati cards, the Illuminati control, and they always have to do this one-eye symbolism and give homage to, give a shout out to, almost like a shout out to the Illuminati every time they do a musical performance, a music video, or anything now. It just it really gets old. You can't just have a music video or a show or movie or an awards show without it being political or mind control or Illuminati or just something, and they make it sound like it's a joke, but it's not. And but yeah, back to the topic of what I was talking about earlier. The churches in, yeah, it is. I believe it is. It's Illuminati. It is. It is. Everyone was stating that. Also, an ME from then was President Bush at that time was reading, and everyone was stating that Cheney was the one that pulled the strings. He was the one doing all the inside work. But yeah, just do 9/11 in 1948 cartoon. Do Sir Pig 9/11, whatever. You should find it on YouTube if you don't have the DVD or whatever, or can't find it elsewhere. YouTube's actually working right now, so that we're so used to using YouTube, we're so used to it that when it's down, it's like an automatic trigger to search something when you can't find it. Like that Smosh video, our generation is basically screwed. Our generation is doomed, I will say, instead of the word that they used. But I think Brian McFarlane recently re-uploaded that. That's interesting. First Apple sold for 666.66 cents. You don't go to church, but you have a strong connection with God and Jesus, and I know I do. I don't feel like I need to go to church to have that. I understand what you're stating. You feel like you've got to have it within, Jesus Christ as forgiver and redeemer. And now I'm not promoting or stating anything like you don't have to or you shouldn't. That's not what I'm stating. I'm just stating I understand how you feel completely. I understand how you feel. And there's a lot of false prophecy going on out there, and a lot of the preachers and people won't. And sadly, so many of them are always in for money. And I mean, there are definitely, they're not all that way, but it's sad that how many times that happens. But I understand you have to have it from within first. You have to feel the belief has to come from within. We all have our crisis of faith or ups and downs in faith, and say things we don't mean, but at the core, we still hold it true. And that's what matters, is having it within. To me, for me, having Him within, having the belief of the Holy Trinity within, and being spiritual and a believer in Jesus Christ as forgiver and redeemer of sins. And see, the thing is, I don't know, this whole Mandela effect phenomenon has brought so many of us together. I don't know if this has to do, it could have to do with prophecy. And that could be why it's stated worlds with an S now. You don't buy into the dogma and don't subscribe, and doctrines of religion, but you have the connection to the Lord God. You have your connection to the Lord God. And a lot of people are that way. I consider myself, like I stated, spiritual and a believer in Jesus Christ as Redeemer and forgiver of sins. And that's me. I mean, that's what I believe. Yeah, why are the churches not talking about that? And why? They're deceiving so many people with this. It does seem that way, and I don't know. I don't know why they're not talking about something of such significance. Something of such significance. But moving back to what's going on across this world, the Middle East, killing people, have been doing that for many years for believing in Jesus Christ and believing it all and spreading the word. Yeah, members and tithe, a lot of them, sadly, like I stated, want you to sow that seed. They say, sow this seed of $1,000, or sow this seed of whatever, or if you give them, you'll get back. God will give you back, give back to you if you give them money. And that is a sad thing that many of them, now, a lot of the churches, they have the down loud. I went to the church and the preacher wasn't aware of the changes. Oh, really? That happens quite a bit too, they say. And some people aren't affected by them. That's another thing. Some people aren't affected at all by. But some people are, and some people are not affected by it. But so back to what happened in China, they banned the Bible. They have now banned all Bible sales. Several European countries have done that. They have stopped Bible. From what I've seen, I couldn't find it online now, but they were burning crosses, taking them down off the churches, removing anything to do with Jesus Christ and replacing it with the image of their president of China, and getting rid of all Bible sales from Amazon. Bible sales are now banned on Amazon in China. And let's see, here in the United States, it was getting that way for many years during the previous administration. Excuse me. And there was one state that was doing Bible study, and the woman was doing Bible study every evening, and I've seen people totally short circuit. That's how it seems. Then they changed their memory was the current reality. That is interesting. There's been so much like that that's happening. Several places in California banned Bible study. A religious liberty law, July 19th of this year, in 2018, religious liberty law, a law firm actually filed the federal lawsuit back in July, as the town banned Bible studies in the family's home. And they threatened each day that they did Bible study, they would fine them $500 fines per person. And that would mean that up to $3,500 a week if she had daily study for an hour or so. And she was wanting to spread the word of the Bible, and they sued her. They gave her a $500 fine, so she's countersuing, and suing under religious liberty law, under the Constitution, so against using the federal lawsuit in Pennsylvania, the Pennsylvania town that was allegedly banning Bible study in July. So I haven't heard anything else about this. It went out again. My stream just went out again. I don't know. Can you all hear me now? Because it just went out completely. But you can do a Google search for Bible study ban, and you'll see that and I marked down the Hebrew 1:2 verse, so I can do chapter 1 verse 2, so I can do a video on it, a separate video. Yes, it is very sad. Several countries were banning not only Bible sales, and it does seem to be pushing toward the mark of the beast system. And another thing that I do know a verse. It says, like, this could be related to the whole eternal life thing that they're trying to do with technology. I know, right? Yet they passed out booklets to the Church of Satan at schools, and I was hearing about that. Thank you for sharing that on there. I mean, they'll pass out anything that has anything to do with something besides positivity, or I mean, they claim under the Constitution, oh, you can't, there's a separation of church and state, and you can't pass out anything to do with religion or religious texts or anything. But yet, under the Constitution, the Church of Satan claims that, oh, they are protected under constitutional rights to pass out their pamphlets and books to the students. I mean, that's very one-sided, isn't it? I mean, that's completely one-sided when you can't pass out Christian text. You can't pass out text from believers in Christ, but yet you can pass out text for the dark side. But it does say, I mean, good will be viewed as evil and evil will be viewed as good. I mean, it states that in Isaiah 5:20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. I mean, something like that. So, it does state that as well. Good will be viewed as evil in these times especially. And there was a verse that, if also in India, they were doing this new system. And several people over there, they were making the system nationwide, basically. They were making that system nationwide in India. And so they were stopping, some people were trying to stop it. They call it Adar or something like that. You can look it up on Spectrum, .iee.org or something like that in the New York Times. The Big Brother for India requires fingerprint scans before people can get food or any type of drinks, before they can eat or drink, buy or sell. It says fingerprint scans for food and phones for finances are required for all 1,200,000,000 or so Indian people. In the digital age, they claim that they must move to this ID system, and all Indians must be put in this ID system or not reap any of the government benefits before they can buy, sell, eat, or drink anything, or receive any government assistance. This is on the New York Times and Spectrum. The Aadhaar, India's biometric ID system. Now, they put it through court in February of this year, and they had several issues, but I think it still passed, probably with flying colors, because that's probably that's what they promote, and they probably just passed it because they usually do what they want to anyway. Can you still hear me? My stream went completely out. I didn't even notice that. Dang, I hope it didn't go out on that side. It didn't show anything. So, but yeah, they were doing that in China, and now several European countries, and like eating in Hell's Kitchen. Food does taste different, slightly everything. I've noticed something different. I know this might not be an ME shift or anything, but I've noticed mustard used to be very bitter for me. All types of mustard, I couldn't. It was like so bitter. It was hard to stand much mustard. But now I love mustard, and I like mustard. I mean, it just tastes different. It tastes better than it used to. That bitter taste is no longer there. And this might not be either, but I've noticed there used to be all kinds of grease in the Denny Moore beef stew cans, and it was like it was so greasy. It was like, but it was always really good after you heated it. But now when you open them up, they're liquidy. So I had to look out the window. I don't know, the dogs are having a fit next door, and sounds like ours are starting to bark now too. But hopefully I don't have to end the live stream. Let's see, it's right now, what time is it? It's 11:05. Okay, I've been going for longer than I thought. An hour and 27 minutes and 55 seconds. But yeah, when I first spoke to the Mandela effect, woke up to the Mandela effect, almost 3 years ago now, everything tasted different. I hardly ate anything for weeks. Yeah, it did. Everything tasted, Fridge had a D in my timeline. It still does have a D, right? Fridge? You can probably hear the dogs next door barking. Fridge does have a D, right? Yeah, refrigerators, I mean, whoa! Crazy! Holy crap. Wow. Oh my goodness. Refrigerators, no D. You are completely right, unless you state fridge. Just fridge by itself. Fridge is short, but it has a DG in it. But refrigerator has no D. Wow. That is fascinating. Huh. Refrigerator doesn't have a D anymore. That is interesting. That is interesting. Huh. Refrigerators, BestBuy.com, no D. Refrigerators, Walmart. Let's see. Wiki Dictionary. Fridge repair. Fridge still spelled DGE. Fridge, FRIDGE. Refrigerators, Sears. No, Sears. Sears was always a ripoff. Man, oh man, for my parents, they got ripped off by Sears. Fridges, appliances. Fridges with a D. If you go to appliances online, there's fridges, and it still has a D, but refrigerator doesn't. Interesting. So when did that change happen for you? I've never even noticed the change fridge before. Yeah, a lot of watermelons are not as sweet as they were. Some of them are really sweet, but very few and far between. Also, the bananas, I never remembered bananas having any seeds in them. That's, for me, I don't. I can't remember a time that they did, for me personally. But yeah, okay, several countries, yeah, you're right, that is awful to do that. The religious liberty laws, under religious liberty laws, they can pass out dark and evil things, but yet we don't get our rights. Anyone else doesn't get their rights. Yeah, Bubbles. I definitely remember a D too. Yeah, I remember the D in refrigerator, completely. I mean, that's vivid. But yeah, they tried to do that across this world, banning Bibles, anything to do with Christian texts, and any type of. But yet, everyone has their rights, unless it's something to do, unless it's the right side, the light side, or unless you're a Christian or a believer in Christ, then they make fun of you and push you out of the way, and they push your rights out of the way, and they're doing that worldwide. But I've noticed around here, have you all noticed at all the fast food restaurants? Must be slipping in and out of timelines. Who knows? Who knows? Universe shifts there. But the thing is, they require around here. When I went into Arby's, I was going to get a few sliders one day. The employees who log out, or they clock in and clock out, or every time they take an order, they have to put their thumb on the thumbprint biometric scanner. And they don't have, I mean, what's the difference in that? I mean, how difficult is it to wear a name tag with a barcode on the back or something? Or you could have a chip in the name tag without putting it inside you. They could wear a name tag, scan it, and be done with it. But someone could just cut someone's thumb off and use, I mean, they could do horrible things. Who's to stop that from happening? But yeah, I mean, they use their thumbs to log in and log out at work, and to around here even at the fast food restaurants. I've seen it at Hardee's. I've seen it at the local stores. I've seen it at the they do it at the schools now. From what I hear, they started with a number, like you type in a 7-digit number. Every time we were in school for lunch, you typed in a 7-digit number and your picture would come up. And that's what would happen each time you got your lunch. And whatever was in your account, that's what happened. Okay, several YouTube accounts still not working. I think that's happening too. I'm surprised that I actually got to do a live stream when YouTube was out, so that was unusual. But when YouTube was down. But yeah, they made you do the 7-digit number, type in a number. Then they were going to go to another system where they scanned your fingerprint. But that's after I graduated. And thankfully, after I graduated, that's what they were going to do that afterwards. But they already did that in the elementary school. They made the students scan their fingerprints. And in Texas, they were going to do that. But everyone in Texas, because of their religious liberties and freedom law under the Constitution, they stated that they were not going to do it. And then some guy, the head of the school system, said some people under some kind of religious stuff, or spiritual ideology, decided that they were not going to do that anymore. But he said eventually it's coming, and you'll have to just succumb to it. You'll just have to do it. But yeah, yes, time is off. Time, to that YouTuber just stated that time is off. It's been slower or faster or freezing at 1 minute for a very long time. Just completely random. Time is so random. And people would have never thought we'd have been living in times like this. Someone said you'd have to be going through a major trip to be going through what we are going through right now in the past for someone to believe you. But they said now it's so common, you can't help but just be awake to it and be aware that something's going on. But yeah. But yeah, I definitely feel like that they are definitely overstepping. They were doing it during the previous administration a lot. And they promote everything unless you're a believer in Christ, then you can't state anything. Especially Saturday Night Live. I hate the way they do now, and Weekend Update is just stupid, ridiculous. It's a constant rev on the president and Christians in general, any believers in Christ. But yeah, several things it's just wrong. But around here even, they require you to scan your fingerprint at fast food restaurants. For all the workers have to scan their fingerprints. And they are still working on doing this facial recognition and biometrics technology. Now, everyone had to go to the microchip card, where each time you place the card in there, it comes up with this long, several number code, and each time that particular binary code is sent out, then the bank or whichever company that you have your card, we have to do that now. We have to use if you want to use the card, it has to be the chip card. and they sent that through the mail, and if you didn't do it, you just don't have a bank card, period. So they forced it. But that card supposedly is more secure because you put the microchip in there into the pin pad, into the reader, and once it scans your card, then that long digit code is sent out to the bank or sent to the account to their servers, and then they send one back. They read the code and send one back, and if they don't match, then the card's not accepted. But if they do, then it's accepted. Sometimes if something happens, then you got to give your signature on there, or sometimes you have to type in the PIN number. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just put the card in. It all happens in a half a second, and then pull it out, pull the card out. It's done, but the transaction's completed. But that's what they do with the microchips. It contains all of your information. And I was like, well, as long as they don't put it in my body. It's like the right hand or forehead Bible verse. So, and so many people are promoting that. Celebrities promoting, hey, put this microchip into your right hand here. Just put it on your hand in between the thumb and the index finger, the pointing finger. There have been so many videos of people promoting it. But yes, back to the Mandela effect stuff. Things have been changing at a rapid pace again. Like the Toy Story line, one of us, where Woody and Buzz were in the claw machine with all of the little green men, the aliens. They were in the claw machine with them. And now that line, I first heard about this from Hidden Knowledge. I think that's the YouTuber's name, Hidden Knowledge. And he stated, one of us. Excuse me. That was never stated now in the movie. The entire movie never says, one of us, one of us. It just says, I remember that, you are chosen, one of us. Not anymore. It was one of us, one of us. Do you all remember that? Now that line is supposedly never stated in the movie. And there's a snake in my boot. Now goes, there's a snake in my boots, with an S. Chick-fil-A for me sure made a joke about the name Chic. Yeah, Chick and Chic. I remember they made a joke about it when I was in school. Chic. It was spelled like chic. That's for sure. And I had a story. I did a video when I was in school. When I was in elementary school, we had this after school thing, and we all went to Chick-fil-A. They had this play place in it. They had and I got this small chicken sandwich and fries. They're little checker fries. So I got that, and I got that, and I asked the woman at the counter, why is Chick-fil-A spelled wrong? I said, why is it just a C? And they said, oh, that's just a play on words, honey. I was probably 6 or 7 at the time. And they said, it's just a play on words. They were very particular at my school about spelling. So, because they were so particular about it, I was like, why are they not spelling that word right? It should be C-H-I-C-K. And now you look back at that Chick-fil-A, and then I asked again, though. I even asked again. I even asked again about that. And, I even asked again about that when I got older. I mean, not when I got older. When I got when I got older, when I went into the seat when we sat down to eat our food, and I asked about it. They had really good Coke there. I liked their Coke, and I asked about the name again, and the parent said, "Oh, it's just a play on words, honey. Just eat your food." That memory would not exist if the spelling had always been that way for all of us. And had always been C-H-I-C-K. I mean, that's the thing. It wouldn't have been that way had the spelling had been that way all this time for us. But moving back to what this one person just stated, let me see if I can get the comments to come back up there. The Grinch that stole Halloween. Who stole Halloween? Yeah, I do remember that. For me, isn't a personal Mandela effect. That's not a personal ME. Some people out there were stating, who's ever heard of that? I hadn't seen it for a long time, and I couldn't find it when I went to search it, so it is kind of a partial ME for me. It's a flip-flop. I couldn't find it for the longest, and then I did a search on it when people were talking about it, and it was back again. When I was a child, I remember them airing a little bit of a short on TV. They would do it on Cartoon Network, would do it on ABC. For us, it was Channel 2, and they would do that on ABC. So they would air, and the Grinch talked like this, and he would groan and moan, and he talked, and they were like, I just talked about Jiffy the other day. My parents remember a time when it was Jiffy. They said, yes, it was. And I said, well, it never was here. And they said, yes, it was. And I said, well, it's kind of hard for me to understand. Kind of convey this because my parents remember it Jiffy. I remember it always being Jif. But I remember Jif with 2 F's. That's what I remember. I remember Jif with 2 F's. But yet, it's always been Jif with 1 F. And many people out there, including my parents, seem to strongly remember Jiffy. They had an American Dad episode where they showed Jiffy peanut butter as well, and you can find that on. Myth remembers it. He remembers it that way, and I think it cut out again, but yeah, it was like they remember on American Dad. They remember it as Jiffy peanut butter. But most people out there, they think, you're crazy. But no, the American Dad remembers it. My voice is... I'm trying to do the voice. I could do Roger the Alien. I just decided to go on and do random voices again. Pretty sure I asked for Pecan Sandies. That was one of the more popular skits of that. Let's do it the right way. The American way. There's Francine Smith. I've done her voice as well. Anyway, just wondering if anyone can hear me. Can you still hear me? Hopefully, you're here from America. Anyway, back to the Jiffy peanut butter. They had an episode of American Dad that remembered Jiffy peanut butter. So, yeah, they did. My parents remembered it. Remember Jiffy. They seem to remember Jiffy for some reason. I heard Jif with 2 F's, not 1. But now it's always just been 1. So, yeah. They also remember Nesquik. They remember Nestle Quick. Even though I remember Nesquik, they remember Nestle Quick. But yeah. One that I've never been affected by was the flip-flop was the Flintstones. I've never been affected by that. That flip-flop didn't take place for me, but for many people it did. And that's one that I wasn't affected by. It's always at a T for me. It says there's 2 people live right now. Weird. You remember 2 F's too in Jif. Okay, I remember 2 F's too. That's the one change for me with Jif peanut butter. I remembered it was like one day it was like, why is there only 1 F? So that is the change for me. For me, the change was from Jif with 2 F's to Jif with 1 F. It's just, I guess for some people, they're slowly taking 1 letter at a time out. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Old Earther 2000. Thank you for stating I'm good at the voices. I did an entire, if you pull up my last live stream about 1 hour into it, I did several voices in that one. I was doing Homer Simpson and so many others. But I forgot to do, at the very end, I did do Porky Pig. And, yeah, I did several. I did Porky Pig. And, the ones that I didn't do was Dale Gribble. I meant to do Dale and, Boom Howard, dang old, talk about this right here. Talk about dang old, yo, man. Dang old, it's almost Halloween. It's almost Halloween, so dang old, talk about the, do you ever talk about the, dang old, boo, man. Nestle, for you, I never was affected by that one. The spelling for me has always been correct. The Nestle water bottles look slightly different. The little line going all the way through it looks strange, but as far as the spelling, it seems okay for me. But also I never did do, man. Hey, John Redcorn. Deal? I never did do I'm going to go the way of the buffalo now. I'm going to leave. This is the way I ended my previous video. And I was saying Rusty Shackelford, if anyone asked, Rusty Shackelford was not here right now. Wingo, man, I'm on my way. That's what I did. I was saying Wingo, shit, Sko. Stuff like that. I sell propane and propane accessories, I tell you what.
Dad, where's my dolls? I can't find them.
That boy ain't right. They were talking about bringing King of the Hill back, but I don't know if they are or not. Double stuff Oreos. Yeah, that changed too. Many people remember, that's a double ME. Many people remember double stuffed, and many people remember double stuffed with 2 F's, and then suddenly the second F was gone, and it's just double stuffed with 1 F. I've got to do a video on that. Let me type that in on the phone. I'll put that in my notepad. That's different. I just got the battery out earlier, and it's already down to 69%. Yeah, my phone's been crazy lately. So, let me see. Yeah, there's 2 F's. It actually shifted twice for me. I'm showing one more viewer right now. There's 3. More than I expected for this time of night, but hopefully many people out there will get to see this. There's just so many things to talk about. Thank you to all my new subscribers as well. There was something else that I put down that I meant to talk about. What was it I said I was going to make a video out of? A separate video? Do you remember? Do you all remember? I know I was going to do the Hebrews 1-2. I was going to make a separate video about that. There's some high strange energy around. A strange geological event took place in the country of Oman. Yeah, Captain Crunch. Many people, including my parents, remember it as Captain spelled out. They said I can remember that vividly. But for me, I remember Cap'n with the apostrophe N most all of my life, and I don't know why, but for me it was always just Cap'n. Crunchitize me, Cap'n. But for many people out there, it was Captain. Yeah, I need to make one about the Porky Pig cartoon. I do need to do that. That might have been it. That was one of them. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to to Bubbles. Yes, the Porky Pig video. That was one of them, I think. Let's see, write it down. Porky Pig. There we go. Yeah, Porky Pig. All right. That was one of them. I put it in my ink pad notepad for later. I'm saving it, making sure that I don't forget it. So there were several things that I was going to talk about. It just slipped my mind again. Dang. You were putting the rest of your herbs into the dehydrator, getting ready for the winter. Oh, okay, that's fine. I had to go every once in a while for a moment too, so that's okay. PG&E shut off the power in North. I just got a notification from Twitter that PG&E, what is that? Let's see, is that the electrical company there? Shut off the power in Northern California to prevent fires and wildfires in Northern California. They had to shut down. Hearing some spirit activity. That reminds me. Did you all know? Have you experienced this? I used to as a child, but yesterday I was lying on the couch, laying down there, and suddenly I hear this music. Now it sounds like praise music or worship music or something, but it sounds like radio. and it was in, I could hear it from my ears, and I could move a certain way and hear it more, and I was hearing this music. It sounded kind of like praise music playing. What are you talking about? Starting them. Let's see, starting them. Yeah, Dolly had braces on that movie. That she did have braces. I haven't seen the movie, but I remember Moonraker, I think was the name of it. I remember seeing previews here and there about it, and I remember the braces. I mean, it looks crazy without braces. That was the whole point of the story, was the metal braces. Yeah, Moonraker. That was it. Energy weapons, yeah. DEW. Definite direct energy weapons. There's a lot of that happening. Um, there's a lot of that happening. But did any of you hear? It sounded like I was hearing talking voices. I heard laughing. I didn't know if it was spirit, interdimensional, or if I was tapping into this, because I have a lot of extra sensory perception. That's okay. That's fine. The spell check. You had to do the spell check. That's fine. That happens all the time. My phone does crazy things, and I'm typing. Sometimes I try to type quickly, and then I misspell it. It happens. Um, no worries. Hakuna Matata. Speaking of Hakuna Matata, everything you mentioned can be man. Everything you mentioned is like a Mandela effect. But I did a Timon and Pumbaa video, and Brian McFarlane did a shout out to me. I don't know if Teresa Lynch is still in the chat or not. I seen her earlier, but hopefully she's doing well. But Brian McFarlane, big shout out to them. Big shout out to him and his crew. And yeah, life was like a box of chocolates. That's it. That was definitely the quote. But there are so many MEs. But the ME that I was going back to, um, let's see. Oh my goodness. Can someone remind me of what I was talking about? I totally went blank. I hate when I do that. Was it? What was I talking about besides the? I have so many different subjects, just boom, 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 popping in my mind. That's my mind is so sporadic. My thoughts are so sporadic. Life was like a box of chocolates. Now it's just strange and bizarre. Yeah, um, that is a true statement. It had its ups and downs, but now it's completely still. It's just strange and bizarre. So many bizarre things that we've never heard of. Um, but direct energy weapons definitely happens. Let's see. I believe that was one thing that was probably fueling a lot of the fires. And let's see. And the birds, a lot of the animals dying suddenly. I believe direct energy weapons could have a lot to do with that. I believe they could have a lot to do with that. But let's see, there was I was hearing singing and like a radio yesterday. But can someone remind me what else I was talking about besides that? I was about to go into another subject, but I can't remember. I was hearing singing yesterday, like a radio. I heard praise music. I used to hear this like heavy metal or rock music or something. I could hear music playing with my ears, and I could hear them. And that's what I was hearing yesterday, just music. A lot of times, though, it was praise music and talking, and I heard children, I heard people's voices of all sorts just talking around me. It was very interesting, but kind of distracting as well. But, yeah, fish, too. Fish as well, yeah. Have you been hearing about how fish falling from the sky, just kind of going all over the place? Fish were all over the ground, and I know there's a lot of water around those particular areas, but still, that was quite bizarre when a plane was flying and it reported a bunch of fish hitting it. Even some places miles away. Also, that red tide. Please tell me how red tide's being blamed on algae when algae is green. I would like do a search for algae, and you'll see that algae is green, and I think they're just doing that kind of like my mama stated. She was like, they're not going to admit that it has anything to do with the Bible. Uh, Project Bluebeam, yes, yes. Anybody else have ancestors that were in the service? My grandfather was. I'm beginning to wonder if there was an experiment to governments. Yeah, I do believe. Yes, I do. Yes, I do believe that they also did weather modification experiments during the Japanese and Korean wars to create monsoons. They would send these particles in this, let's see, these highly charged particles. They would send water vapor into the atmosphere and barium and various chemicals to create a monsoon rain in order to create bad conditions for the enemy, so that they could create monsoon rains and win the war. The United States did that then, and now other countries utilize that technology to manipulate the weather by way of weather modification. So yeah, weather modification definitely happens. You were hearing faint voices too. Yeah, I've been hearing to Old Earther 2000. Yeah, I've been hearing. That's what I was talking about. Those faint voices. I heard voices and music, praise music, all kinds of things yesterday. Radio. It was like radio. And my grandparents, yeah, they were, some of them, and my ancestors were in the service, the military, and some of them were. Different branches of the military. Great-grandparents as well. They had some, most of us have ancestors that were in the military. Cherokee Indian, that's interesting. My great-grandmother, I called her grandmother. It was on my granny's side. She was my granny's mama, and they called her mother. She was definitely Cherokee Indian, and definitely very spiritually connected. Very spiritually connected. Cherokee, she had Cherokee in her, so that's great to hear. You have Cherokee Indian, Cherokee Native American Indian in you. Your grandfather was 100% pure. That's really cool. Very, very cool. I love the natives. I highly respect their people. They were very spiritually inclined. You're part American Indian as well, Old Earther. That's cool. I've probably got it in my bloodline as well. I mean, I know I do, since my grandmother was Cherokee, had Cherokee in her. You could see it as well. And she's seen spirits and ghosts a lot. She's seen orbs a lot, and she was very close to me as well, just like my granny was. On my mama's side, my granny was very close to me. And my granny had many gifts and was capable of many things people just don't understand. My granny was connected to everything that she seen and heard things. She was connected to the spirit realm a lot. I mean, just a lot. Before, all the way up to the point where she passed away in 2005 of lung cancer, sadly, from smoking too much, smoking cigarettes. But anyway, the connection she had with nature, it was just, I mean, not nature, just nature in general, but just spirit, the spirit realm. It was amazing. My grandmother did as well. My grandmother, I was very, very close to both of them. And you've had many spiritual happenings and unexplainable things happen throughout your life that you've dealt with things before they happen. Some people call it psychic powers. I don't know if it's just normal for me. I've had that as well. My mama's had a bit of that. My granny had it all the time, and she was psychic to a large extent. I've had psychic experiences, premonitions. I guess you'd call them premonitions, or I've had many deja vu situations. So much like that, and you get a feeling where something's going to happen, and you know, or you give a warning of it. You get that feeling. You just know it. That strong feeling. Like, something will happen Wednesday, or I always got numbers and dates popped in my mind. As a child growing up, I would dates and numbers and something I would state. Have any of you gotten a certain number stating, like, even lottery numbers used to pop in my mind. I wish they still would. That would be great. But let me think. You'll see the government uses it for their advantage. So I wonder if we weren't experimented on for not being experimented on right now. I love nature as well. The government does use psychics. Yes, I have heard that. There were several shows. Did you ever see that show Believe, where this girl was a gifted little girl, and the show was called Believe, and the government used her they were going to use her for advantage. They were constantly running her away from the bad people and trying to, hide her from the bad people. But I've actually used energy to manipulate and connect with nature and the clouds, the sky, wind, the earth itself, animals, nature, just everything unbelievably connects with me. It's like I can speak to animals. My pa had that kind of gift. My grandfather on my mama's side had that kind of gift, and it's like I could speak to animals. They listen, they understand me. They completely understand me, and it's like we can communicate, really. This dirt dauber, the wasp will go inside the house, and I'll say, "No, going back outside. Go that way, out the door." And he goes back outside, or he'll tap me on the nose or the head. The spirit is eternal. Very true. But back to the topic that I was stating earlier. But my grandmother was Native American Indian. She had Cherokee Indian in her blood, and she seen this woman in white. She talked about this woman in white, in a white robe, a white dress, go right through her wall. The spirit of this woman, my mama has told me that story, and of my grandmother seeing this woman in white go through the wall and go right through the room and even down the stairs, and she's heard a marble. She's heard a marble roll, go boom, 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 and then roll across the floor when there was no one there. And I've heard, and we've heard the sink run when the sink's not running. So many things. We've dealt with a lot of spirit activity here. You read 2 books where psychics were used by the government to see enemy. You forget what they were called, but it was kind of like an out-of-body experience. Psychics go over and they see everything. The spirit runs the mind, not the mind runs the spirit. Think with your heart. Very true. Very true. Let me think. Now, sometimes I've had my connection with this goes up and down, and my connection with this side, it goes up and down, and sometimes I lose this connection a bit, but it always comes back around to me. The more I try to ignore something, it's like the more it tries to make itself known to me, and it happens. But back to the blood red waters. Have you seen some of that on YouTube, on Twitter, and Google? The polar ice caps turned blood red. And they were blood red cells on the inside. And all of these blood red waters and blood red tides were blamed on algae. Okay, so my question, if you've ever looked at algae, let me do a Google search and show you what algae looks like. I mean, you know what, I mean, I'm going back to another topic. I know I'm going back and forth quite a bit, but can you see this clearly? Hopefully you can see it at least a bit. The algae there is green. You can see this green algae. When you do a Google search for algae, you see green. green algae. You don't see red algae. But yet, when you look up, you can't find any images for red algae. But yet, this toxic red water is happening right now in Florida. This right here is an image of the water. It looks like something out of biblical prophecy. Yes, I have seen where the trees bleed. There's a. Have you ever looked up the prophecy of? Is it the Ezra prophecies? The Bible speaks about stuff like what we're witnessing. Yes, it does. It does. And this right here, I did a video about it. Brian McFarland actually mentioned it in one of his live streams, so I appreciate that. I appreciate it greatly. Let me look this up really quickly. Let me look that up. Ezra, let's see, I think it's Ezra. Esdras. It's Esdras. The North Pole was a large continent, my timeline. Interesting. In your universe, in your memory, your dominant memory, the North Pole was, or however this whole ME works, the North Pole was a large continent. Interesting. Okay, if you look up 2nd Esdras 5, 5 through 15. If you all have a way to look that up and you can read it with me if you want to. 2nd Esdras. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me. It's going... Okay. The comments are popping up now. 2nd Esdras 5, 5 through 15. Let's see. And a lot of verses... I don't know why, but a lot of verses were banned long ago. A lot of Bibles were banned. A lot of things they weren't put in the Bible that we, like the Book of Enoch wasn't put in there. The Book of Esdras wasn't put in our Bibles. A lot of verses and a lot of books were not put in there that contained very valuable information. And I don't know whether the kings at the time didn't put it in there. I don't know. I'm not going to state anything that's wrong. I don't want to do that. But I do know that did happen. So let me show you. Let's see. It was 2nd Esdras. My phone can be crazy, so hopefully you can see it. That is very blurry. It might be backwards too. I don't know. Is this backwards? Is this backwards for everyone? Second Esdras, can you see that? 2nd Esdras 5, 5 through 15. The Book of Enoch, I would like to read it again to see if anything's changed. I've actually only read a few verses from Enoch. I haven't gotten to read the entire thing. 2nd Esdras, back to the bleeding trees. Is it not backwards? Okay. Was it not backwards? But back to the bleeding trees. I need to check to see how much time on my tablet. Just a few minutes. I'll have to end in a few minutes. But 2nd Esdras 5, 5 through 15. And blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give his voice, and the people shall be troubled. And even he shall rule whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth. And the fowls shall take their flight away together. The Shiva at CERN changed again for me. Really, I've actually witnessed that change a few times. The Shiva the Destroyer, I think. Shiva the statue at CERN has actually changed many times. But the let's see, and the Sodomitish sea shall cast out fish. So the sea shall cast out fish, and make a noise in the night, which many have not known. So think about that. The sea shall make a noise at night, which many have not known. So could that be the strange sounds? But they shall all hear the voice thereof. I'll read different translations of this in a moment. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and there shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. Menstruous women shall bring forth monsters, and salt waters shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself. 6 arms. Yeah, that does sound right. She had 6 arms. Interesting. I'll have to look it up. Back to the verse. And shall be sought of many, and there yet be not found. Wait a minute. I think I skipped ahead. There shall wit hide itself, and understanding into his secret chamber, and shall be sought of many, and yet not found. Then shall unrighteousness and uncontinency be be multiplied upon her. Incontinency. I don't know why I said uncontinency. Incontinency be multiplied upon earth. One land also shall ask another, and say, Is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And it shall say, No. At the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain, and they shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. To shew thee such tokens I have leave. And hold on, the power's running out of my tablet. I've got 15%. It probably went out again. My tablet's running out of power. To shew thee, I'm going to finish this verse, this Bible quote, this Bible verse. To shew thee such tokens I have leave, and if thou wilt pray again, and weep as now, and fast even days, thou shalt hear yet greater things. Then I awakened, and an extreme fearfulness went through my body, and my mind was troubled, so that it fainted. So the angel that was come to talk to me held me, comforted me, and set me up upon my feet. The verse you're hearing here is talking about the modern times in which we live. And for some reason they didn't put it in the Bibles. I don't know why. But it contained a lot of information that was very, very accurate to modern times. And it goes on read from 2 Esdras 5 and on. It says, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or even the winds blew, before it thundered and lightning, or even the fountains of paradise were laid. Foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or even the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitudes of angels were gathered together, or even the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or even the chimneys in Sion were hot, and era, the present years, were sought out. Let's see, where was the verse where it states, the trumpet shall sound, this is verse 23, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight against one another, one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told, these shall escape, and see my salvation, and the end of your world. And the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and their heart of inhabitants shall be changed. The heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning, for evil shall be put out. That's another good verse that I was about to get to. Thank you. He who has eyes to see and ears to hear. Now, eyes is taken out of the Bible, just says ears to hear now. Really? I remember oh my goodness, that's a big one. Um, I remember he who has eyes to see, ears to hear, and a mouth preach or a mouth speak. That's what I remember. Is that what you remember? Eyes to see, ears to hear, and a mouth speak and preach. I mean, that's definitely a big deal. He talked with me, behold, let's see. But just look that verse up. 2 Esdras 5 and 6. So many Bible verses changing. I'm searching. Let's see. Exodus 4:11. No, that's not Exodus. The lion shall lay with the lamb. Yes, that was one for me before it was wolf. I mean, before it changed to wolf, it was definitely lion shall lay with a lamb. But just look up 2 Esdras 5. Okay. Ears to hear, 7 times in the Greek scriptures. If any man have ears to hear, let him hear. Hmm. I'm not gone, I'm just searching. It didn't faze them either. The one there I thought everyone would know, because they're always taught, watch out for the wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah, I remember that. The wolf in sheep's clothing. Is that different? So many things are different. It's just crazy. The wolf in sheep's clothing, is that different now? I remember that statement my entire life, a wolf in sheep's clothing. I definitely remember the lion and the lamb. Um, the he who has eyes to see. And ears to hear. I even did a video stating that one time. That's interesting. Things are definitely changing moment by moment now, and actually at a very rapid pace. But I will do a video about both the Hebrews 1:2 verse, Porky Pig, that prediction of 9/11, wolf in sheep's clothing, the lion laying with the lamb, and the wineskins. I'll do a video about that. And he who has eyes to see and hear, eyes to see, ears to hear. The eyes are no longer in there. And the double stuffed Oreo, I remember shifting twice. Double stuff was stuffed with an ed, and then it was stuffed with ff, and now it's just one f. And GIF is GIF now just one f, and just crazy, lots of crazy things. Um, let's see, the Last Supper had the Holy Grail on the table. The three little pigs changed. Yeah, I did a video. I was talking away and the connection went out, but I did a video on that. I don't know if you all remember or not, that where I did this Porky Pig video where, let's see, Bugs Bunny stated, the wolf and Bugs Bunny, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. It was like, I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down. Remember that? That was the skit. But he said, I'll blow. Now, if you look at the original, in rhymes with chinny chin chin. So, I don't know. But I remember blow your house down. That's what I remember. So, the plastic cup sitting on the front. I don't know. I do remember people mentioning the Holy Grail and how the people said there's a door behind the Last Supper painting. They say there's a door behind that now. Another thing is the wise men in the Bible. Have you ever seen the verse about the wise men visiting Jesus at his house? Can you hear me? What do you remember on that? The wise men now visiting Jesus at his house, not at the manger. This year I've seen a lot of nativity scenes, a lot of Jesus Christ, a manger. That's what I remember. Everyone, my parents remember that. I remember the manger. We have a manger scene. We have a little manger figurine that this clay glass figurine that we put up for Christmas, and we keep it on the table. And there's this angel. This person actually gave me an angel. I was going to get it, and this person bought it for me at Walmart, so that was really sweet of them. It was a $15 angel, and they bought it for me. God's hand was above Adam in your timeline. That's interesting. There's so many things, just so many things. I'm trying to write some of this down. But let's see, because there's a verse. Let's see. Wise men visit Jesus at house. Let's see. Another YouTuber made a video about this. Matthew 2. Let's see. Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea. This happened while Herod was king of Judea. After Jesus' birth, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem. They asked, "Where is the child who has been born to be King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose. Now we have come to worship him." When Herod heard about this, he was very upset. Everyone in Jerusalem was troubled too. Let's see. My phone has messed up. Okay. The star they had seen when it rose went ahead of them. It finally stopped over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they were filled with joy. The wise man went to the house where they saw the child with his mother Mary. Now, many people remember this verse being of the wise men visiting Jesus in the manger. But yet, it says, in the house. Let's see. Matthew 2:11. So if all of you, you can look up Matthew 2:11 on BibleHub.com. There is the King James Version. Let's go to the King James Version, and I'll look it up in our Bible as well. Well, our Bibles here. Okay, Matthew 2:11. And it went crazy. Hold on. Okay. And when they were come into the house, that's a grammatical error right there. But they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. Now, it should have been, all my life, and everyone remembers the manger. The wise men visiting Jesus Christ in the manger. Yeah, I know, the bone in the eyes of the skull, that's different for me as well. The thinker has shifted and flip-flopped. Now I think for me it's back to how it was, but I'm not sure. But let me read the rest of this verse. Sorry, hold on. So the wise men, they went into the house. There are various translations, and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Now, myrrh is spelled M-Y-R-R-H. I don't know if that's correct. Is myrrh spelled correct? M-Y-R-R-H. So, go to... And the heart was definitely more to the left. Definitely, yes. The New International Version says, on coming to the house, they saw the child with his mother. No H for you, okay, in myrrh. So, I don't know, it's just weird. Myrrh seems kind of off, the spelling of myrrh. Gold, I remember gold, frankincense, and myrrh, but I don't remember myrrh being spelled like it is. There's the double R looks strange, but I remember M-R-H or something. M-Y-R-H. I do remember the H personally. Okay, after coming into the house, they saw the child. Another translation. After they came into the house and saw the child with his mother, with Mary, his mother. That's when they fell down and worshipped him. And they opened their gifts of frankincense, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But the King James Version, it still says, and when they were come into the house. So, it says house. That's another thing. So, look up Matthew 2:11. Matthew 2:11. So, I've got two verse videos to do a video about. Right offhand, Hebrews 1:2 and Matthew 2:11. So, just so many things that are different. I saved a link to those two. But my tablet will die very soon. It's at 10%. It usually doesn't even last this long. Usually at like 60%, 70%. Sometimes if I'm lucky, 44% it shuts off. But it seems like during the live stream, it seems to be working. It says low battery right now. It's trying to shut off. So I'm going to have to end the stream. Thank you all for participating in this stream with me. Hopefully, would you like another Bible video sometime? Girdle. I've heard the word girdle. I've heard of girdle, and unicorn is in the Bible now. I have heard unicorn in there. Yes, unicorn. I remember them calling them eunuch or something, like eunuch in the Bible, but I can't find that word now. I'll probably go ahead and get to that right away. The verse on Hebrews 1 verse 2, while it's fresh on my mind. And I'll do the wineskins video as well, definitely. I'll do the wineskins. Actually, maybe I'll do several Bible verse videos all at once. I'll do a separate video like I did a while back of Esdras, verse 5, where it says, the trees shall bleed, stones shall speak and give their voice, and the voice of whom many have not heard will be heard speaking in the night. The word definitely. Yeah, it has changed for me as well, twice. For me, dilemma is a big change. It had an N in it. It was so plain. Dilemma had an N. And there's no N. The movie with Kevin James and Vince Vaughn, I've had that for many years. I got it used at this secondhand place. It was like a, actually, no, it was actually a movie house that they were, a rental place that they had several VHSs and DVDs at the time. And I got the DVD of it then. And it was dilemma, and it had an N in the word. But now there's no, it was, yes, it was Bubbles, Bubbles. It was definitely spelled with an N, just like you remember. For me and many of us who are affected, it was definitely spelled with an N. So, yeah, I mean, let me look up, what was I looking up? I'm going to do a video really quickly, very soon, when I'm done with this live stream, of some Bible verses. Yeah, spelling can do crazy sometimes. It can when you're trying to do a live stream. I mean, when you're trying to do typing, or versus when you're doing voice, using your voice. Sometimes it can get it wrong, but that's fine. I know what you mean. Let's see. But that verse, let's see, Esdras, where the tree shall bleed. It was an apocalyptic work written by the Jews around 100 CE, they stated. The section is comprised of 3 separate dialogues. So, let's see. Let's look at this. Nevertheless, as coming, the token shuttle. Hold on. Let's see. Some believe that to be something to do with Nibiru or Planet X. Blood shall drop out of wood, and the stone shall give his voice. The people shall be troubled. I was going to do one more verse here. It was stating that I can't find it now, but I wanted to do a voice. I wanted to do a video of that. Well, it said that the fish shall be cast out of the sea, and make a noise at night which many have not known. But they shall all hear the voice thereof, meaning that a voice of that many, the voice of the one whom many do not know, shall be heard in the night. And I've got to do another video regarding some strange occurrences the other night. A few nights ago, my daddy heard something that I've dealt with for a while. Next to the building in the yard, and in the middle of that, and the pine trees and the march bushes and the pear trees and things, there was this, and we've been told by a Native American Indian that there was a portal. I was told in a dream that there was 3 portals on our property by a Native American Indian chief in a dream when I was a child. And we heard this, he heard what I've heard many times, and it was regarding Sasquatch activity. And it went, and a lot of times it goes like, or it'll blow 3 times. See, I still get chills over it. It goes like, but anyway, yeah, that's something that has definitely, I've dealt with for quite a while, that type of activity. But I'm going to end the video here, and I'm going to end the video here. Let me know you can hear me. I thank you all for taking the time good night to you all. Thank you very much. Okay, you have to go to the store and get a few items. Okay, well, good luck. Thank you, and much love to you as well. If any of you are still with me right now, I just wanted to state, God bless you. Thank you for these this time we got to share together, and I greatly appreciate it. And thank you so much. I thank you all. God bless you. Much love. And I had to share some of these verses and some of these things with you. Thank you very much. So,
That's all, folks.
had to do the voice impressions at the end of the video. So, much love, peace, and God bless. Thank you very much. I'm going to get right on to those videos. So, thank you. If you pull this video back up, thank you to Old Earther 2000. Bye to you, and bye to Bubbles. Can't wait for you to see my future videos. I'll do another live stream very soon. Bye.